Assuming for simplicity that the interest rate is 10% per annum, we see here that a dollar will grow to $1.10 at the end of 1 year using this simple equation that multiplies the investment, $1, by the sum of 1 added to the 10% interest rate in decimal form. We say that a dollar placed in the bank account today, which we refer to as the present value, or PV, grows to a future value, or FV, of $1.10 in 1 year. If we leave this amount in the bank for another year, the future amount grows in value to $1.21. We incorporate this compounding effect using the exponent n, which reflects the number of years that interest is paid. We can take this a little further and see that a present value of $100 placed in the bank at 10% interest for 10 years will grow to a future value in year 10 of $259.37, assuming no taxes are paid on the annual earnings. We can make future value calculations using this simple formula to quickly calculate project metrics. Fortunately, we can use the Excel software to calculate the future value. We click on a cell, then we click on Functions, and under Categories, we select Financial. Scroll down to find the function FV for future value. Click OK. We will get another screen where we need to input the data. Rate is the interest rate per period. For example, 8% if paid annually, but 2% if paid quarterly. NPER is the total number of payment periods. For 5-year annual payments, it would be 5. But if interest is paid quarterly, it would be 20. PMT is the payment made each period. It cannot change over the life of the analysis. Typically, PMT contains principal and interest, but no other fees or taxes. If PMT is omitted, you must include the PV argument. PV, then, is the present value, the amount of money you're putting in at time 0. Type is the number 0 or 1 and indicates when payments are due. If type was omitted, it is assumed to be 0, and it means payments are due at the end of the period. If type is 1, it means payments are due at the beginning of the period. When we enter the data, we obtain the result that appears on the formula result. Then when we click OK, we will have the result in the cell we clicked on to start with the function. If more information is needed, we just need to click on Help on this function in the same screen. For example, if we want to calculate the future value of $100 invested for 5 years, assuming an interest rate of 10%, we go to Excel, click on a cell, under Functions find the Financial category, and click on FV for future value. There we enter the values as rate, 10%, or as a decimal, 0.1, the number of payment periods, 5, no entry for payments because there are none made each year, and then the present value, 100, the amount invested today. We make no entry in type because the payments are assumed earned at the end of the periods. Click OK to get the result. We see the future value is $161.05. Note that it is negative because it reflects the amount of money you must pay out. In essence, you are borrowing $100 today, and you must pay back $161.05 in 5 years. So you are paying out that amount. Another way to enter this formula is just typing equal FV in any cell. Then in parentheses, on the upper line we add 10% or 0.1, then a comma, then 5 representing the number of years or periods, then a comma, and another comma reflecting a 0 because we don't make a payment every period. Then the present value or investment of $100. Don't forget to close the parentheses. Once the numbers are entered, we see the formula result of minus 161.05, When we click OK, we see this negative amount comes up in the cell below. Why not try it yourself? If you invested $1,000 in a 10-year U.S. Treasury bond at 4% interest, what would you receive in 10 years when it matures? Note that you need to enter a negative present value because you are making an investment. Which of the following three answers is right?